Hey guys, what is up? Kevincage back with another cryptocurrency video. If it's your first time to the channel for daily news and info on the digital asset space, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get right into it today. So to start things off, I actually just want to do a massive shout out to XRP, the Standard Productions on YouTube. If you have not seen this video, it just came out on the 31st. Stop this video, leave it right now. There's a link below this video. Watch this. It's a 6-minute video. This guy does a fantastic job in presenting this. Again, it's David Schwartz, and they do some voiceovers and answer some questions. They talk about the beginning of XRP, Ripple, the difference, ILP, the XRP ledger. It really just covers the history in a nutshell in 6 minutes, and it's extremely well done. And all of the quotes that David Schwartz is saying in this are actual quotes from him. There's no exaggeration. This is everything verbatim. So definitely check this out. Very, very underrated video, and deserves way more views than 3,000. I know the XRP community is much larger than that, and I think we should share this around and disperse this knowledge for people, especially even like Bitcoin maximalists, just so they kind of get a better idea, why, Ripple strategy is the way it is. All right, next up. XRParcade.com. Check this out, guys. You can go right to the calendar portion and you can actually see events that happened. Like, for example, we saw Friday on the 2nd, Alex Holmes, this chairman and CEO of MoneyGram, on XRapid and XRP Video. Next, obviously this month's not too packed, but we have Marjan Delantine, and she's of Ripple at the Blockchance conference. And we have an XRP meetup in Ireland. We have Ryan Gaylor at Finext USA. So it's just a good way to kind of, check everything out for the perhaps this month or next month and to see what's going on in the XRP community. Hopefully we'll see, more information and the calendar will be more filled out in the future. And again, what I want to kind of cover about, XRP, the ILP, the, Interledger protocol, and then the XRPL. So again, just so I know there's a lot of fancy terms in, this whole XRP space, this XRP ecosystem. And let me just kind of give you a quick synopsis of the difference between at least the Interledger protocol, ILP, and then the XRPL or the XRP ledger. So essentially, the Interledger protocol, that's, the open protocol suite for sending payments across different ledgers. So really just interledger between ledgers. So it's like routers on the internet. They're, connectors route packets of money across independent payment networks. However, this is, open architecture, and minimal protocol enables interoperability for any value transfer system. So this can send anything. Excuse me. Now, the XRP ledger, or also known as XRPL, that's the decentralized cryptographic ledger that's powered by a network, and it's all peer-to-peer. And keep in mind, this ledger is home of XRP, which is their, the native digital asset. And XRP is essentially designed to bridge many different currencies in the world, all the different fiats and everything in between. And this is where XRP transactions are validated right on this XRPL, this ledger. It's free, open sourced, decentralized. And remember, in this video, they'll even go over, when XRP was created back in early 2011, a few name changes and brand changes. And then Ripple, the private company, is really, the steward. They're the stewards of the development of the XRP ledger. They work on the advances of XRP as a key contribution to the IOV, the Internet of Value, which essentially means a world in which money can move the way information does today. So hopefully that makes a little more sense for everybody. Next up, Stuart XRP at Stuart_XRP. And I do not know how to pronounce this gentleman's name. I'm going to just say Nicolo Romani, and he's head of innovation at SIA, S-I-A. And SIA Group is massive. We know the connections. I think I Am Legion also does a fantastic job in covering this as well. But essentially, just so you guys know, SIA is, a giant service provider for infrastructure, and they're working with tons and tons of banks. And they have some side projects like SIA Chain as well throughout Europe. And really, since they're primarily an infrastructure service provider in this video, as this gentleman goes on to say, they need the guarantee to the banks that the infrastructure is always on, 365, 24/7, as well as the application is always on. And now these bigger players, their clients, everything like that, they're very interested in SIA Chain, which is, it has a lot of, potential future implications. For example, they closed a strategic partnership with R3. They're working with Hyperledger Fabric and Ripple to assist the banks and corporations with technology that can really impact them in the most positive way. And what he actually goes on to say, and it's very, very interesting because he tries to make it sound ambiguous, but in reality, he wholeheartedly believes it. And he goes on to say, in the next 10 years, most central banks could issue their own sovereign cryptos, or perhaps, their own central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. And the entire payments landscape is going to dramatically change from this point into the future. But the few concerns today, though, are, is technology mature enough to be ready for this challenge? And he openly admits at this time it's not, but he believes that SIA will help roll this out, test, and develop the technology for when this revolution fully occurs. So remember, guys, I know you're not going to like to hear this, but I want to tell you the reality of the situation. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. If you want to go, try to 5x your money or lose it all tomorrow, go find some, random altcoin. This is a real investment. Okay. And then right here, actually, I kind of want to go over this. So this was cool. Martina P. Callum, MD, she just brings a lot of attention to people in the XRP space, always asking great questions, tagging us in information, helping disperse the news. So we really appreciate it. So thank you so much. But I actually want to go over some of this. So she goes, please explain to me, a major US bank, PNC, has already joined RippleNet using XCurrent for fast cross-border payments. Can they do this without using XRP? Well, absolutely, but there's a difference between the services. So I'm going to kind of go over this thread that Adam covers, and he has some great answers. And then I feel like I had some comments and, contributed a little bit, but I really appreciate what he put. So basically, as, Adam says, he says, with XCurrent, you still need corresponding Nostro and Vostro accounts in their respective country currency. Remember, it does not replace that idle capital. They still need the Nostro and Vostro accounts to account just in case there is liquidity on demand. And when, you're sending those to, where you are tying up those funds. So with XRP, though, using XRapid, you can source that liquidity and convert on demand nearly instantly. Fiat to fiat, and XRP bridges those two forms of fiat. So as he says right here, if Nostro Vostro accounts aren't being used at all, then it's extremely slow regardless, since the currency conversions will be floated out to the foreign exchange market. XCurrent is simply just a messaging service similar to Swift GPI. And this is what I've been saying time and time again. Now, Adam does go on to say, he says, let's see, goes, XRP is revolutionary because it's a trustless, decentralized, distributed ledger technology that has liquidity in dozens of different fiat corridors that allows a bank to simply use a simple user interface in XRapid to source this liquidity behind the scenes to make everything else seamless and simple. All right. And again, XRapid and even XCurrent 4.0, they now allow clients to free up the trillions of dollars of dormant capital that they'll no longer need for those emergencies or, to pay creditors or their clients. With on-demand liquidity, they can all function in real time with a plethora of other benefits included. So again, big things. Hopefully that, answered some of your questions. And remember, XCurrent does not require XRP. Now with the XCurrent 4.0 update, that enables the option of XRP. Now keep in mind, banks, FIs, all these payment providers, they're going to choose the best option. When you're using XRapid in the interface, it'll actually come back to you with the fees. Sometimes, in most cases, it'll be the most cheapest and make the most sense, because there's going to be minimal volatility, provided, everything works in the ecosystem. But in other cases, maybe XCurrent will work, and sometimes Swift might even work. I'm not trying to just completely displace Swift, but for certain customers, there's going to be certain demands and needs. Alrighty. So hopefully that answered your question. And let's see, let's go to the next one right here. XRP Crypto Wolf. So Ripple's spring initiative invested in Equilibrium Connect. It will build interledger applications that leverage the network's unique properties that will operate interledger nodes across XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and web services API for developers to build on Interledger. This is very exciting, guys. So again, Interledger is an open source project, is seeing further development of its core infrastructure. We got new participants, additional use cases as well to, work on building the Internet of Value. I already read this earlier, but let me see if I can just skim through this for you guys. In addition to contributing to the core protocol, they're going to operate an interledger node across multiple currencies, those three, and offer web service API. CryptoWolf already summarized that for us, so thank you. And again, as the network grows and develops, they'll begin to build interledger-based applications of their own that leverage the network's unique properties. So it's good to see that we're also building on that now, and we've also received a lot of recognition lately on the XRP ledger. Next, Ripple just saying that they're excited to hear MoneyGram talk about the value of RippleNet and XRP in helping deliver real-time global payments to their customers. And MoneyGram, of course, was talking about sharing their Q2 2019 earnings. I'm very excited to see what Q4 brings around with XRP usage, because if you're paying attention to the charts and the actual volume, you're seeing a little difference. MoneyGram's stock is skyrocketing, which is very suspicious, and I want to know why, because smart money must be aware of something. And XRP CryptoWolf says, MoneyGram is currently number 2 in the world for money transfers, and they're right behind Western Union. But after they fully implement and launch XRapid with XRP, because they're not fully implementing it yet, remember, we have to crawl, walk, run, then I'm expecting them to be the number 1 money transfer service in the world after they take over Western Union's place. And this is assuming that Western Union doesn't quickly follow suit to, remain in competition. Interesting thoughts, though. Next, XRP CryptoWolf. I have a few messages from him that I want to cover. So, the British tax agency HM Revenue and Custom is demanding customer and transaction info from crypto exchanges Coinbase, eToro, and CEX.io. So, they're going after unpaid taxes from 2 to 3 years ago, and this is just, it's very silly. And again, as he says, governments want taxes without giving full clarity. And you know what? People are going to fight it. And if they want us to pay taxes on any trades or, any gains that we've made in the past, I'm going to demand clarity as well and incentivize these guys to make some actual laws so we know exactly what we're doing and that there's a standard in every country and every state. Otherwise, I would hold off and try to fight. Make sure that you're not being taken advantage of either. Next, XRP CryptoWolf. The US SEC's, and again, she is the SEC Commissioner, Hester Pierce. Certain tokens need a safe harbor. She's interested in building a non-exclusive safe harbor allowing issuers to offer tokens. Again, she believes blockchain and cryptocurrency will have a positive effect on the financial system. That's bullish. That's further validation in this space that the SEC is actually talking about that. And here's another quote in this article that I like. Regulators had to follow the lead of the markets and work with their foreign counterparts. Absent an explicit decision by citizens of a jurisdiction to cede their regulatory authority to an international organization, a jurisdiction should determine what rules work best for its investors and markets. All right. Each and every day we're getting more bullish news, and this was just released. Last one here. Thailand's government will amend anti-money laundering laws, AML laws, to regulate cryptocurrency. Thailand's regulator intends to start with changing the Anti-Money Laundering Act to include requirements for crypto exchanges to report their activities to the AML office. More clarity, more decisions, and this will hopefully create a domino effect. It's funny that we're seeing, countries like Thailand stepping up to do this first. Right here, we got MasterCard is adding senior positions to lead efforts in cryptocurrency. Why, guys? If you think this is all just a giant pyramid scheme or some scam or some elaborate type of fake internet money, why are all these global companies and additional Fortune 500 companies investing billions into building their own infrastructure? And I'm not saying just on DLT, and I'm not talking about just certain use cases for blockchain for tracking purposes. I'm talking about sending value. Every video I do is talking about faster payments. Real-time gross settlement. Granted, there are other forms of real-time gross settlement, RTGS, systems that do not need blockchain. I'm talking about the best options that have additional underlying benefits. And the Interledger protocol is going to be essential. The XRP ledger is going to be essential. They're all playing a part. We are so early. Please, I want to actually do a video and just go back to the whole history of the internet era and the whole .com bubble history and talk about the emerging players, some that didn't survive, and the real underdogs that went through all of this uncertainty and became the kings that we know today. Because I think that, history might not always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So they're looking for directors and VPs in blockchain management. MasterCard is recruiting for blockchain engineers and analysts. That is bullish. And last one we're going to finish off today. Again, thank you, XRP Crypto Wolf. Iran's government is close to passing a bill that finalizes regulations for cryptocurrency. Iran's government has introduced a bill that lifts the illegal status of cryptocurrencies and authorizes mining as an official industry in the country. Bitcoin. Very, very cool, guys. Again, progress is progress. Whether, whoever, whatever you're invested in, whatever you believe in, that's fine. I'm in this space for all tokens. I want all news because all news is good news. You've seen those Forbes articles where they talk bad about Bitcoin, and then literally the same time they write another article talking good about it. It really makes you question things. You have to look at the fundamentals. You have to look at various sources and do your best, because at the end of the day, nobody truly knows. But society's like a pendulum. You're seeing this snowballing effect occur, and it's getting faster and faster. Back in the day, there were no articles like this. There were not. Right now, there's probably like 50 articles with actual relevant news around the world per day. Even more, actually. But back in the day, it was very rare to even find some good information on Bitcoin. And now we're getting great information on XRP all the time. This is exciting. I'm bullish. I don't care how long it takes, guys. I'll tell you one thing, though. If there was another 18-month bear market, I feel like a lot of people would leave. A lot of people would sell. And, that might be right for you. Do what you have to do so you can sleep at night. Maybe you're over-invested if you're angry and lashing out. But at the end of the day, I personally only put what I'm willing to lose. I only put it into what I believe in. I try not to trade too much. But again, guys, everybody has their own, preferences. So let me know what you thought about this information. Again, check this out. XRP The Standard Productions. I'm going to put that link down in the top comment and pin that for you all. Remember to look through XRParcade.com for real information, unless you just enjoy me reviewing websites and just listen to YouTube as a podcast style. There's nothing wrong with that. But just let me know, because I can kind of dig into this as well. Talking about the ILP versus, XRP Ledger, kind of explaining the difference in that. And then just talking about different, applications being built on the Interledger or on Interledger. MoneyGram's potential effects, and then all of these various countries' news regulation coming, the SEC talking about the future in place for that, MasterCard and Iran removing that. Everything is happening in front of our eyes. If you think that I am just some conspiracy theorist, I don't know what to tell you, because this is this is not too good to be true, because again, this is actually happening. So with that, guys, hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts down below. Any and all concerns, questions, answers, tips for me. I'm all ears. Let's keep it positive, and constructive criticism is always welcome. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks.